I remember the wind first. It pushed the smell of salt up the old seawall and into my helmet, found the seams in the tape I'd used to keep the sand out of the joints. The memorial drive sat warm against my neck where the skin port was. It hummed, faint and steady. I told myself it was only a file. I knew it wasn't. It held the last 9 minutes of Hannah's life. We recorded everything back then, little skin patches that caught sound and vitals and clipped it into these glassy wafers the size of a coin. Cheap because storage went almost free after the mesh laws of 2035. Permanent because that was the point. Everyone kept a ledger of themselves so the world couldn't lie later. I wanted to lie anyway. Not to the world, to myself. The drone that killed her, Helios Logistics Series 4, came in low over the tide pools. Hannah had been on a city contract, routing aid crates to the hill clinics after the flood. We had fought that morning. I told her she should call in sick. She said, "Aubrey, it's just air and math." That's in the file too. So are my sharp words. Every time I thought about hitting publish, I heard them. "If you go, don't expect me to sit by the phone." The drone's rotor failed 20 minutes later. Helios said, "User error." The city shrugged. The workers' group begged me for the recording because it had telemetry mixed in with her voice. Oxygen, accelerometers, system calls. Proof. Without it, no case. With it, we could show Helios cut corners on maintenance and used spoofed parts. Jason said that on call after call. "Pin it, Aubrey. Once it's on Civic Chain, they can't make it disappear." He never said the other thing, that I would also be pinned there, the worst version of me, preserved as long as sun hits a panel somewhere. I climbed down from the seawall and started toward the public node. The rig pulled on my shoulders. Blue plates, rusty buckles, old headset lenses that whined every time I focused them. I had rebuilt it from a drone scrap pile, which felt fair. Cables ran off my neck and under my jacket. The city on the far hill looked washed out. The node was a shipping container on stilts above the marsh. Solar on the roof, open door. A bad idea, Jason always said, but the city kept it open on purpose. "Trust builds redundancy," the sign read. I could hear the fan from outside, a steady low note. I stepped in and the rig contacted the port automatically. Tiny clicks across my jaw. Civic Chain wasn't mystical. It was math and stubbornness. Content-addressed storage spread across thousands of little boxes like this. Laptops in apartments, mesh hubs inside bus stops. Once a file got enough pins, the hash lived everywhere. If you wanted to erase it, you had to convince the world to forget all at once. The world had gotten very bad at forgetting. The console woke and asked for my life key. It's a weak term. It's a tiny chip seeded with a slice of my DNA. I bit the plastic mouthpiece and tasted salt and copper. The rig read me, and the screen pulled up the file. "Ready," it said. I could have scrubbed the first minute. That's what my hand wanted as it hovered over the slider. Cut the fight, leave the crash. Righteous pain with the mess cleaned out. Hannah used to joke that we were all amateur editors now, but she had also said, more than once, "We don't get to pick our edit when it matters." I played the 9 minutes. Her breath starts quick, then slows. A gull screams somewhere left. The telemetry ribbon shows battery sag on the drone, a tiny dip. My own voice comes in, thin and hard, because we were on a call. "I'm tired of being scared for you," she says, gentle. I know. The numbers on the ribbon spike, a warning. "You seeing that?" she asks someone else, a coworker probably. The mic catches a male voice, distant. The battery dips again, deeper. Her heart rate climbs. My voice says, "Hang up and fix it." She laughs, short. "It's just air and math, babe." I paused there. My hands shook. I set them flat on the console because when you brace, you stop shaking. The fan's low note filled the container. I could turn around, walk out, and the world would go on making new lies to cover the old ones. Helios would pay maybe a fine. Kids would still wear little memorial patches like jewelry and pretend it helped. I felt a stupid surge of anger, then an equally stupid surge of love. Both moved me. I hit publish. The system asked, "Scope?" I picked public interest archive. That meant legal preservation. That meant open. The rig split the file into shards, did the math to make it whole again anywhere. The first nodes accepted it, then more. The counter went from 1 to 16 to 90. The router popped as it pulled juice. Then I heard a sound outside, a high whine that made the container shake. A Helios safety drone hovered in the doorway with a bright logo. A thin voice from the speaker said, "This facility is under review." The tone was clipped and cold. The drone rotated and pushed a little gust of cold air across my face. I backed up and kept the mouthpiece between my teeth so I wouldn't say something stupid. The upload bar inched. Jason had warned me Helios sent out pushers, drones that flood local nodes with garbage traffic right when a case goes hot, choke the pins, make time their ally. But the city had gotten good at this too. A kid on a scooter rolled up and yelled, "Need help?" I nodded. She pulled a little antenna out of her backpack and pointed it at the drone. Across the marsh, I saw 2 more people stop and lift their phones. The bar moved. The drone drifted closer. Another person, an older woman in a bright raincoat, stepped into the doorway with a metal cane and tapped the frame hard. "Public node," she said. "You wait your turn." The drone held its place. The counter ticked up. 112, 200. The file crossed whatever line the chain used for permanence. The system chimed. Anchored. I didn't feel relief, not at first. I felt exposed. I had handed the world my ugliest minute and told it to keep it. The drone eased back and rose. The kid grinned. "Got it?" she asked. I nodded. "Good," she said. I like her laugh. It took weeks for the suits and papers to chew through what we gave them. Helios settled, then apologized, then rebranded. A check came that would have made us both laugh if we still got to share checks. But none of that is what I go back to when I walk the seawall and the wind prods the tape on my helmet. I go back to the 9 minutes, which I still play sometimes, not as punishment, but as an anchor. It doesn't get easier to hear my own voice in that first minute. I don't want it to. I need it to sting, so I remember why we built a world that refuses to forget. Because forgetting is how the same people stay safe and the same people stay dead. Data permanence sounded like a prison until the day the city stood between me and a drone and made room for Hannah's voice. It's not a cage, it's a beacon. You set it to shine and trust it will last, guiding someone else. That's what stays with me. Not the math, not the court win, but the way strangers lifted their phones and made my worst minute and Hannah's last part of something larger than us. Human beings did that. We made a promise to hold on, and when it mattered, we kept it. This has been 9 Minutes Anchored. Thank you for listening.